This is a Bandwagon Media Services production for IMI Incorporated. David Palmer develops negotiations and management programs for companies from Nike to Hewlett-Packard and IBM. A Fortune 100 company required his training for all its buyers worldwide. He is a CPA, MBA, and PhD, designs and delivers negotiations workshops throughout the world, and teaches in Santa Clara University's MBA program.
It was in my fourth year as the chief financial officer for a semiconductor company in the Silicon Valley. We had created 4 subsidiary companies, 3 in Europe and 1 in Japan. As a result, I was officially the chairman of the board of each of the subsidiaries, so when the Japanese tax authority had questions about the first 2 years' tax returns, I had to travel to Tokyo. Now, if this situation had arisen in the U.S., our public accounting firm would have met with the IRS and handled the matter. But this was not the United States, and the Japanese take a very different view of taxes. In fact, there are 2 countries in the world that do not consider negotiations acceptable when it comes to taxes: Germany and Japan. Taxes are very negotiable everywhere else in the world. Well, the tax authorities I had to meet with were in a district office over an hour outside of Tokyo, so distant from where foreigners traveled that as we walked from the train station to the tax authority, small children would stare at me because they'd never seen a Westerner before. The final negotiations took 2 meetings. In the late afternoon of the second meeting, I was sitting next to my managing director on one side of the conference table, while 3 elderly Japanese tax officials were on the other side. We'd finally reached an agreement that I considered to be fair for both sides. I thought we were finished, but began to wonder about the unusually long silence that echoed throughout the conference room. Then, after a brief exchange between the authorities and my managing director, he turned to me and said, "They have one more request, but I'm embarrassed to ask you." And I said, "That's okay, just ask me." And he said, "They will agree to all of the issues we discussed if you agree to one final condition." "And what's that?" I said. "The condition is that you never return." You see, one of the key issues for the Japanese tax officials was loss of face. The official position.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?